Next up, we're going to look at a table discussion we had recently about hemp and the recent legalization of cannabis in South Africa. And before we go on, I do want to remind you that we read in Peter that we should have a sober mind, and in Corinthians that we should bring every thought captive to the Lord Jesus Christ. Let's have a look. Be your dream. So today we are going to have a table discussion about hemp, the correct use of it, and misconceptions around it, especially in Africa. With me at this table, we have Alton from My Daily Choice Team Win. We have Henrietta from Lifeline South Africa, an organization that focuses on emotional welfare of the people. And then we have Dr. Job, who's going to give us the medical aspects about this topic. Welcome, guys. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. I'm doing great, thank you. Alton, let's just dive right into hemp. My Daily Choice is a company that offers hemp products. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And you guys recently launched everywhere, I think, in Africa almost, right?
A few countries.
Okay.
Not a lot. Currently, we are in Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, and we are launching Kenya in a matter of days.
Awesome, awesome. I was at the South African launch, and it's interesting because the use of cannabis has been legalized in South Africa recently, which means there's a lot of people at home growing their own stuff, but they don't necessarily know how to properly use this substance or this plant or the medicinal value of this plant. Now, the company offers products that are a safe option to use the medicinal value of this plant. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right, so let's talk a bit about the misconception that people have, especially in Africa.
You know, I think one of the things that for most people growing up, especially with a Jamaican background, I must admit 2017, the very first time that I was introduced to the hemp CBD arena, I myself was like, that's illegal. I want nothing to do with it. Not realizing that there's actually a family of the plants, and there's a difference between what I call in Jamaica marijuana or weed, which is very well known for the Rastafarian in their culture, versus the hemp, industrial hemp that is used for making cars, and even the first American flag was made from hemp. So as I started to educate myself more, I even realized there's a difference even between the leaves that are being used to represent in this industry. So, you know, it's just a lack of knowledge, and as you go out and start doing, as what people would say, your research, there is so much information on the internet that will be able to equip you once you have an open mind.
Let's talk about the differences and the correct meaning of these things. The difference between hemp, cannabis, THC.
The cannabis plant has two species, right?
Okay.
You have the marijuana part and you have the hemp part. If you want to go deeper, you will then talk about the sativa and the indica. That's their biological names. And now, the marijuana part is the one that people smoke, and that part has a high THC content, and the hemp part has a high CBD content. The presence of a CBD content masks the effects of THC even if it's contained in the hemp part. So you won't have the high that you would get with the smoking the marijuana part. That's the difference.
So we have the marijuana plant, we have the hemp plant. They are not the same plant. They are of the same family. They sometimes look similar, but they are not the same. And they contain different amounts of THC. Now, the CBD oil is not equal to THC. Is that correct?
The CBD oil has, as the name says, it has cannabidiol, which is the high content of CBD compared to your THC. With the legal limits, we use the Food and Drug Administration, that is the American Association.
So you won't get high from CBD
No,
oil?
because of the presence of high CBD as well.
So it's not like using weed? Because that is the question everybody wants to know. If I use CBD oil, does that mean I'm going to get high? Does that mean I am now using weed? Because obviously that's the first thing they want to know. It still has medical benefits, doesn't it?
Yes, definitely does, but for legal purposes, it's
Yes.
regarded as a...
So it's totally legal to use
Yes,
CBD oil.
yes.
It is totally beneficial. Let's talk a bit about the benefits, these products. I see it even in pharmacies nowadays for cuticle cream, for face cream, for everything. There is hemp-infused products or CBD oil products. And let's talk a little bit about the products that My Daily Choice provides.
Well, one of the things that make My Daily Choice so unique is the extraction process that we use. It's called a fresh lot dry process. So meaning from seed to shelf, you're getting the purest form of CBD from the product it actually produced. See, that's why many people, they're looking to capitalize on the industry right now, right? Everybody, as you mentioned, you're seeing things for nails, you're seeing stuff for hair and skin. However, how their extraction is typically done, most companies, or those who are doing it at home, are extracting by using alcohol or some form of a metal which is not safe. I always tell everyone it's not about what you consume, it's about what your body absorbs. With our products, we have 100% of potent product that you can see. Just from looking at our product, we are the only ones in our industry of direct sales and network marketing that bears the US Import Authority seal, which means that we have the purest of CBD oil that you're finding in the market space. And that's very important because already people have this stigma of getting that high. So when you're getting the actual purest form, you want to be sure that what you're putting in is ultimately what's going to give you the best of performance. With our company, we offer different strengths. Here in South Africa, we only offer the 500 milligram, the 750 milligram. We also have a 1,500. However, South Africa has not approved for the 1,500 milligram to be here for the fact that it's so much higher in the CBD content.
In light of the fact that the use of marijuana at home has been legalized in South Africa, for instance, we see many kids going hoorah, okay? Because, it's a thing, it's a peer pressure thing, it's, so they're smoking. Henrietta, we need to speak to these kids about the fact that it is still a substance to smoke weed, right? It still has huge negative effects on a growing person, right, doctor? On their brain, on their growth, on everything of them, like any substance. And you know what? If you want it for the medicinal value, there are other options like hemp products, okay? Henrietta, please do share with our viewers the impact that substances have on our youth, on an emotional level, a social level, everything that has to do with that from Lifeline.
Thank you very much. I think firstly it's important to know that substance abuse is a huge monster. It's very rife, especially in schools. We're realizing that as social workers in our profession, we're getting a lot of calls from organizations to come to schools and intervene because of issues of substance abuse. So there is a lot of effects that substance abuse has on our school-going kids and our youth altogether.
What we know for certain is weed is bad for kids.
Most definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, I think also I'd like to say as an organization, most of what is killing the nation is lifestyle more than anything. Therefore, we're not only concentrating or passionate about an individual's emotional wellness, but about an individual's lifestyle wellness as a whole, so that at least we strengthen that arm of prevention, as they were saying, more than the reactive aspect when now we are called to go and offer intervention because a child already is using substance abuse. So we are also transforming into that, educating and making awareness in schools to even tell our learners that as much as there might be a turnaround time along the way for those who are already using, it's very important for them to also know that it's not all physical attributes that can be restored back to normal, even if you can go to rehabilitation centers. So it's really important to make sure that you abstain from any addictive drugs instead of wanting to do damage control, because it's not all of your functioning that can be fully restored to how you were in the beginning.
It is important. I mean, it's important for them to know that there are other ways to deal with their social and emotional struggles, right, than to have to experience a high, right? There are other ways. I mean, I've been reaching out to schools with Lifeline for 8 years now, all right? And I haven't been to a single school that do not experience all the negative factors that you can think of, right? The kids, they know. They know where to get drugs. They know where to experience violence. They know what's going on. You cannot hide it from them. And the thing is, they have many factors that contributes to them feeling overwhelmed, or like they need to just get a weight off their shoulders, or like they need to do something to experience a high, to escape from whatever struggle they are experiencing. And there are many struggles that our youth experience that their parents do not necessarily know how to guide them with, because the technology that came along, you know, there's a difference between the generations, unfortunately. You know, so the kids might experience some struggle that the parents do not know how to deal with. They don't know necessarily how to guide them on that. And that is when the child actually tries to seek guidance from their parents. Many times they don't. Many times, because they just feel like, oh, my parents are old-fashioned. They don't know what I'm going through. You know, they can't help me. You know, and then their friend will just offer them, hey, have some weed.
Exactly.
You'll feel better. So what I always do, and the main thing, one of the main things that I touch on at the school outreaches is, you know what, there are organizations out there that can help you handle your emotional struggles, such as Lifeline. And that is where Lifeline plays a big role. And you don't have to try to work it all out on your own. You don't have to try and carry that on your own. You can speak to someone who knows what they're talking about, and if it's not free, it's a very, very low cost call to make, and someone can guide you through your emotional issues. And then if you want to still use a CBD product because of the medicinal use it the correct way, without the terrible side effects that cannabis has on a growing person. And the youth is classified from around 10 to 12 to all the way up to, I think, 30s.
33.
That is youth. I know that a person stops growing around in their 20s, right? So don't think just because you're out of school that it's all of a sudden safe for you to smoke weed. It isn't. So it's not just for the school kids, okay? It's for the youth.
Yes.
All right? Don't smoke weed. If you want to get the benefits, use the CBD products. So Alton, if someone wants to get their hands on proper CBD products or hemp products, where can they find it?
They could contact me at 071-824-1869. That way we'll be able to direct them through our website. They'll be able to take a look around to be able to have 100% of the information.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And doctor, if someone finds themselves abusing drugs or any substance like that, what should they do?
They should contact their nearest doctor, go to Sanka, go to Lifeline as well. If your doctor can help you, WhatsApp me on 082-385-2406.
Awesome. Thank you very much. All right, I really think that this can make a difference in people's lives, and I look forward to see the difference that will be made. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.